May 20, 2026, Lowell School Committee come to order. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Ms. Del Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Here.
Mr. Lay?
Here.
Ms. Martin?
Here.
Ms. McFadden?
Here.
Mr. Bahu?
Here.
Mr. Conway?
Here.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 3, special order of business, 3.1, public hearing, inter-district school choice program. We're going to open the hearing to anybody who would like to speak in favor. In favor. In favor. That portion of the meeting is now closed. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Opposition. Opposition. That portion of the meeting is closed. The vote taken later. We're going to take the vote later under the new business, so we'll skip that portion. 3.2, Spotlight on Excellence, Knowledge Bowl winners 2026. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, I know you enjoy this annual celebration of our Knowledge Bowl champions, who this year are the Daly Middle School for Lowell. We're going to talk about them and have them celebrate with them in just a minute. But in the time since the Knowledge Bowl finished until now, they were joined by the finalists of the Knowledge Bowl this year involved the Daly, the Robinson, and the STEM Academy. And those 3 schools represented Lowell in the regional Knowledge Bowl against all the surrounding towns. And of course, they blew away the competition and were wildly successful. So we're going to celebrate the Daly Schools win for our own Knowledge Bowl and also the regional Knowledge Bowl win by our 3 schools, Robinson, STEM Academy, and Daly School. Can I ask, please, for Ms. Miranda to come to the podium and get us started?
If I may,
Yes.
Superintendent Skinner, I'll introduce the team. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Superintendent Skinner, cabinet members, assistant superintendents, and school committee members. It is my pleasure once again to introduce Daly Middle School as the city champions. This is the 5th consecutive year in a row, and as Mr. Skinner had mentioned, it's also the 2nd regional win, which is impressive. And I just want to highlight the coaching just a little bit. It's Coach Miranda's 5th consecutive win, and it is the same for Coach Pania's. I mentioned the same thing last year. It was a record last year, so it's a record this year. I think it highlights the ability of the coaches to source talent within the building and also within the team as well. I'm sure Ms. Miranda will be talking more about the impressive students that we have, namely some of the 8th graders that have done very well over the past few years. And again, I think it's complementary to the competition that exists within the district, and the success that the regional team has seen is also says a lot about the students and the talent that exists within the city. So thank you for allowing me to present everyone, and I'd like to present to you Coach Miranda.
We're just letting the kids come in. It's the place to be tonight. Good evening. My name is Karen Miranda. I am one of the coaches of the Daly Middle School team as well as the regional team. And I want to thank the school committee, the mayor, superintendent for having us here tonight. I also want to recognize my co-coach at the Daly, Alejandro Bonilla. He's over here in the corner. As Mr. Asquith mentioned, Alejandro has also won 5 Knowledge Bowls in a row. He has a better winning record than I do. He is undefeated as a coach. He has never lost. And I could not do this without him whatsoever. We also had an extra helper this year, Zuhair Saeed. He can't be here tonight, but we do want to publicly recognize him and thank him for his help. And with the regional team that we also got to coach, we were joined by Basha Saeed, who is here from the STEM Academy. And we also had a fourth coach, Osama Al-Rakabi. He works at the STEM. He could not be here tonight, but we also want to recognize him. Before introducing the students tonight, who are representing the Daily, as well as the STEM and the Robinson for the Lowell team, I wanted to just share something that I heard yesterday. I was listening to a podcast. I love my podcasts. And when I heard this quotation, I was like, this is what Knowledge Bowl is. So one of the reasons that I like coaching Knowledge Bowl is because I like studying. I was a nerd growing up. I loved learning facts. I loved doing trivia. And my parents were strict about what we could watch on television, but one of the things we could always watch was Jeopardy. So every night after supper, we'd watch The Wheel, but Jeopardy was our favorite. And I still watch Jeopardy constantly to this day. And so I was just watching the Celebrity Jeopardy All-Stars tournament. And I'm going to spoil who won in case anyone's watching. The winner is this woman named Mina Kimes. She's an NFL football analyst and a podcaster. And so then she did a deep dive on how do you win Jeopardy. And I had to listen as a knowledgeable coach. And she said that it's all about your preparation. And I want to read her quotation. She said on our podcast, I think it actually reflected something I consider to be one of my core values, which is that we should be proud of preparation. She said, I am someone who gets more value out of my own successes when I feel like they are born from hard work as opposed to fortune or just natural talent. She said, I think it should be cool to study so hard that you become good at things. And she said, yet it's often not something that's celebrated or something that when you're younger that you always want. And she said, I think I want to show people that you should study for a test because it works. Studying works. And I am proud of myself for that. And I think these values reflect the same ones that we coaches try to imbue in our players. And I want and I think that these students should absolutely be proud of their preparation. They're studying, their incredible hard work. They are making so many flashcards. They've memorized a single-spaced 32-page document of current events. You can ask them anything about the news. They know the answers. They will do math problems on the weekend for fun and come in and challenge each other to say, hey, did you solve it this way? I solved it this way. Should we do it like this? It is incredible hard work. And I want them to know that that effort is really cool and is something that you should be proud of. And it paid off because we've won the city championship and you won the regional championship. So to these kids, I say, keep prepping. Don't ever stop learning. Be proud of your effort. Be proud of your knowledge. Stay curious. It is what will keep you interesting. And on that note, I'd like to introduce one of the most prepared people I've ever met in my entire life. He was my student. He's my co-coach. I hope soon that he'll become a co-worker maybe in Lowell Public Schools. He just graduated from UMass Lowell Saturday with his degree in education. Alejandro Bonilla.
Good evening to the mayor, the school committee, and Superintendent Skinner. As we said, 5 consecutive years of having won this tournament. And coming back to do this, especially this year, has been very special for me because as I wrapped up my own degree, I thought about how much I had grown in the time since I had started college. And with many of these students, these are students that I've had since the 5th grade. And so I saw how my own growth and how I had to go through the challenges of transitioning from a young person unsure about their career to someone with a philosophy, with a conviction on what to do in their life, and how that was also reflected in the journeys that our students take, actually especially in middle school, when they're going from a very young person yet to be molded out of elementary school. And then in 8th grade, by that time, they're already starting to think about, what do I want to do in this world? How do I identify? What are my values and my strengths? And so my heart really goes out to this group of humans right here, because to me, that represents that I was able to imbue on you a lot of what I felt was helpful to me at your time in my life. And in many ways, the enthusiasm that these students have brought to every practice, the amount of dedication that they show, including in the weekends, on the vacations, in the materials that they present, they influence me to be a better educator, to be prepared, to be confident in taking on the world after. And so I have to extend my gratitude to Ms. Miranda, to the team, to the administration at the Daily School, because over the time that I've been doing Knowledge Bowl here, they have really made me feel like one of their own. And they have always welcomed me with a smile whenever I needed any help in my training, whenever I needed any help with opportunities. They have always, always, always tried to do their best for me. And as she said, as I'm about to enter the field as an educator very soon, I hope that the spirit of this team, the spirit of this activity that we hold so dear to ourselves, can continue to be carried on in each of your lives after high school and into my own career. Thank you.
All right, and so here's the reason we are really here, and that is to shine light upon all of these phenomenal students from the Daily and from the Lowell Regional team. So students, when I say your name, maybe you're already standing, but you can kind of wave so you can be acknowledged. And then a few of the students wish to speak and reflect on their experience. Representing the Daily Middle School for the city championship this year, we have Jackson Durkin. Emily Heng, she is not here today. We have a photo of her that one of our students produced at Staples. So Emily is here in our spirit. Zuleika Hussein. We have our captain. He's been on the team for 3 years, Ten Koi. And we have his sister. She'll be coming into 8th grade next year, Munidar Koi. We have Lex McGovern from the Daily. We have Natalie Nebb. Kwazi Apuku. Another student who's been on the team, he actually joined in 5th grade as an alternate, and so he's been here for all 4 years, Andrew Protopopescu. And we have Owen White. He is at a baseball game tonight, but he's here in spirit. Also here in the chamber, Elliot Kolakowski with Emily. Emmett McCabe. Jing Soth. Kat Tran. Ariana Sarath. And we have a manager, Finn Donovan. He had a sporting event tonight as well. And then from the Lowell Regionals team, which just won our 2nd consecutive championship, we have from the Robinson, Olivia Jacha. Also from the Robinson, Hamim Hassan. From the Daily, Ten Koi and Munidar Koi. From the Robinson, Jaden Lim is here. From the Daily, Kwazi Apoko. From the STEM Academy, Emily Penta is here. Also from the Daily, Andrew Protopopescu. 2 more students from the STEM, Derek Sang and Jason Tran. And also this year on the regional team from the Daily was Natalie Nebb. And I believe, well, I know some of the students have prepared a few words to share. So if you are speaking, if you want to maybe come up to the front area here, so I know who is prepared. I know I have 10, Munidar, Elliot. Is there anyone else? Those 3? Okay. Elliot is in our 6th grade at the Daily. Why don't you come up first, Elliot? Elliot Kolakowski.
Hello, Mayor Gitchier, school committee, parents, and our wonderful team of students and coaches who made this speech possible. I'd like to start out by recognizing all of our 8th graders who are leaving us this year for high school. I will miss all of you so much. I hope you keep the daily wins going into high school. Last year, when I made the practice team, I was ecstatic yet also scared, as I was the only fifth grader there. When I joined, I was greeted with open arms, and everyone showed me the ropes to everything I needed to know. Now, in my second year, I can't put into words how much of an amazing season this was. Everyone here should be so proud that they are on this team. I mean, look, we're middle schoolers being recognized by City Hall. This is pretty crazy. We all have some big shoes to fill with all of the 8th graders leaving this year. We will all miss you so much. I would say that my favorite part of the season was probably the competitions where everyone would huddle up and our amazing coaches would give us a motivational speech telling us to try our best and strive for excellence. I would like to conclude with a quote that all of us can relate to. Yesterday is a history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present. Thank you and good night.
Next, we have our captain, Ten Coy. He's in the 8th grade at the Daily.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ten from the Daily, and it's been the span of 3 years since I've stood at this spot, but I wouldn't have made it here without our amazing team and our coaches, Karen Miranda and Alejandro Bonilla. So, you can give them a round of applause. Now that this is the end of Knowledge Bowl for me, it's sad but it's sweet because I can't wait to see what's next for the new competition in the following years, and partly because I'm now free from it. However, I will miss it, and I think what I miss is winning and losing, and as I leave, I hope others will find similar determination that I had and continue to grow and mature from the same lessons that this experience has taught me. But like all great farewell speeches in history, I have to give a warning, and my message says, never stop being yourself, never lose hope in yourself, and always be happy. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone who made everything possible and everyone who was here. Thank you.
We are hoping, I think, does Lowell High have a group that competes in the PBS? Oh, no. So, yes? Okay. So we are going to make sure that these 8th graders who are here tonight from all these schools, you can join a team next year at Lowell High School, and you compete on PBS on television, and you can show them just how smart Lowell is, and you can keep this going. Okay, so please do that next year. Our final student speaker is Munidar Coy. She is in the 7th grade, and she's trying to get back here next year.
Good evening, Mayor Gitchier, the school committee members, and our audience. I feel very honored. This is my second year in the Knowledge Bowl. This year's journey all started in November with the same people and the same goal. There are people I've watched compete since I was in 5th grade, and those I've only met a few months ago. But it all felt like the selected team was just right, and there was not one thing I would change about it. I will always be grateful that my teammates will still cheer on everyone, no matter how good each performance is. Each practice was a balance between showing what you know and seeing how much information you can fit into your brain. There have been great practices where I truly felt proud of myself, and rough practices where I've been really unmotivated because I wasn't doing as well. But why should those bad practices matter? You can't erase the past, but always looking at it won't create any future. Knowledgeable practice has taught me what mindset I would need to achieve anything in life. You can't wake up and know everything. Time and consistency is what it takes to do anything in life. Even outside of practice, completing classwork and switching over to a study packet in my spare time made me develop a habit. As smart as people may be, Knowledge Bowl has taught me that no matter how smart you are, there are still over 1 million things you haven't learned. Looking back at this season, Knowledge Bowl has impacted us to give our absolute best effort. Imagine climbing a mountain with the goal of reaching the top. You can't stop because there is nothing taking to your goal, and you can't sprint to the top because you'll run out of energy. This would be Knowledge Bowl, starting at the base of the mountain, climbing higher and higher, leaving trails of our determination, discipline, and resilience behind. Now, at the peak of the mountain, looking down at the work we left behind reminds us what we can't see while looking at a trophy. The time we put in, the stress we have experienced, and the friendship that we've built aren't to be seen. They are to be remembered. Medals and trophies may sit on a shelf and collect dust, but our legacy still remains. To conclude, I would like to express my appreciation to those who made the season possible, starting with our coaches, Karen Miranda, Alejandro Bonilla, and Zuhair Saeed. Within these last 5 months, they've taught us more than just the facts we need to win. I can't fully express how much effort our coaches put in to make sure that everyone feels prepared. Next, I'm grateful to all my teammates for always being there. This whole season was full of support and had a welcoming atmosphere. This victory was a team effort, and I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for them. I've met many new friends, and all have shown what a great teammate should be like. Knowledge Bowl is a team effort, and it wouldn't entirely be a daily school win without all the roles played by everyone in this team. I also want to thank the teachers, families, and students who have come to support us this whole season. Finally, I very much appreciate the great sportsmanship that the other schools have brought us. Every person who has been a part of this tournament has been friendly, hardworking, and dedicated. All things in life must end somewhere. I'm sad to see the 8th graders leave after how far they brought us, but I know they have a successful year waiting for them in high school. It is a bittersweet ending that we won and the season is over. All endings mean the beginning of something new. We don't know what fully awaits for next year's tournament, but as Martin Luther King states, you don't always have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.
Would any of the school committee members like to say anything? Dominic? Member Lay?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you for doing a wonderful work this year. Thank you, Coach, Ms. Miranda, Alejandro. I watched you since you were a competitor. I am a fan of Knowledge Bowl, so watch you as a competitor and graduate, seeing you graduating from Lowell High, and now, my goodness, you're also graduating from college. That's that's wonderful. And I also want to thank all the staff who have been, everybody involved in this is taking time to help the students succeed this year. And parents, I've seen you cheering on them at the competition, and you supporting them all the way. So, good job. Thank you.
Member Bahu?
Sure. Congratulations to all of the participants of the Knowledge Bowl. I've had the benefit of going and being a judge at the Knowledge Bowl for 3 years now, and I've got to watch the daily school sweep the 3 years that I've been there. But I've also got to see students work together. I've seen the efforts that they put in together. I've seen the acknowledgement that they give each other, and I've seen the nerves sitting at the stage over at the, I'm trying to think, STEM? Yeah, well, anyway, over at the schools that I was at, and being front and center in front of everybody, and realistically having to answer these questions that, truthfully, 40% of the time, I don't know the answer. I have to go to the logbook. So, you know, without preparation, none of this happens. And when I go into the rooms, when you guys are doing the math questions and such like that, I see you all work together. And, nobody ever gets nervous. Everybody's a part of the team. Everybody's working to go ahead and give it their very best. And I'm grateful to be a part of that. I'm also grateful to see all the teams enjoy each other. This is the first year that I saw the Robinson in the finals, and I've been there for 3 years. And the Robinson they were high-fiving each other, and they were smiling at each other, and they were supporting each other. And, it was just, and the Daily always gives it their very best. Miss Miranda, great work. And, great work to Miss Duda and the whole staff that runs the Knowledge Bowl. And truthfully, I am grateful to be a part of it, because I get to be a judge and watch all this materialize before my very eyes. So congratulations to all of you. Thank you for entertaining me and making me feel very special to be a part of it.
Ms. Henn?
First off, I want to give a congratulations to you guys for winning the Knowledge Bowl. But I want to specifically talk to the 8th graders out there that are going into high school. Coming from Lowell High, at first I was a bit afraid as a freshman, because you're jumping into something new, and a lot of your speeches kind of talk about going to something new, but you shouldn't be afraid of it. A lot of 8th graders out there going to freshman year, I just want to tell you guys there's so much opportunities and clubs at Lowell High that will benefit you, and also coming from Knowledge Bowl, you would also benefit them too. I just want you to give you guys kind of, not really like a warning, but I want to give you guys kind of a good say to jump into a lot of clubs and throw yourself out there into high school. It might seem scary at first. You don't have to really jump and dive into there, but definitely slowly step your foot into the pool and definitely join clubs. You're going to have so much fun and make so much more friends. So, yeah.
Mr. Conway?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just very briefly want to congratulate each and every one of you for doing an incredible job. This is not an easy thing to do, to get up there and to study day in and day out, and then in front of a lot of people, perform, and obviously you guys have done an incredible job. And we want to make sure that we thank all the coaches, because it wouldn't happen if the coaches weren't there, and the staff. And also, by the way, a congratulations to the parents too, because this just doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen in isolation. It's all working together as a team. So congratulations, you did a super job. Appreciate it.
Ms. McFadden?
Just wanted to say congratulations. Lowell's future is looking bright thanks to all of you. This is my first year on the school committee, and stories like these are what inspired me to run, because I just know that Lowell is in such great hands with all of you. And I think you should all start your LinkedIn profiles now, because you have something to add to it. A lot of kids your age don't. Congratulations.
Ms. Del Rossi?
I just wanted to wish you all congratulations and good luck in the future. Your futures all seem very bright. You're working together, you're collaborating, and you're learning, and you're invested in the Knowledge Bowl, and that's a great thing. Congratulations.
Thank you. On behalf of the Lowell City Council and the school committee, we would like to thank you also. City Hall is a time capsule. As Elliot pointed out, it's pretty cool to be here, but it's even cooler standing up here watching my alma mater, the Daily School, achieve as much as it has, and all of your smiles and your happiness for being here. And if you guys would come in, we can take a pretty cool picture before you guys leave. So if everyone would like to come in, we could take a picture with the school committee. Continuing on, 3.3, Spotlight on Excellence, the Seal of Biliteracy. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Seal of Biliteracy is a very special credential that we're very proud of and that is befitting a city like Lowell, where so many dozens of languages are spoken in our community. And now some students from the high school in a growing program called the Seal of Biliteracy are able to achieve this credential. It is a program of excellence. I'd like Stephen Jarvey from Lowell High School to explain and bring it to us, please. Mr. Jarvey.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. What I'd like to do is actually turn it over to Shirley Blood-Tom, who is one of our teachers at Lowell High School, who is instrumental in getting this off the ground. And I'm going to let her explain everything to the entire group. Ms. Blood-Tom.
Good evening, Mayor Gitcher and Superintendent Skinner and the members of the school committee. My name is Shirley Blood-Tom. I am a Latin teacher at Lowell High School and the Seal of Biliteracy Coordinator. It is greatly appreciated the opportunity to come and speak to you today about this program, which, as was mentioned, is growing, and the momentum is really amazing to watch. And I would like to say that I'm also here with 9 student graduating seniors, actually 1 junior, but 8 graduating seniors who are graduating with the Seal of Biliteracy. And I am going to tell you a little bit about the program and also about how it has grown. So we had the opportunity to apply for a DESI grant 4 years ago. So we applied for the grant and received it, and we were able to implement the Seal of Biliteracy, which is an award program offered by DESI and the state. So students that are interested can come forward to test in their first language, a heritage language that maybe they didn't know it was a skill that they had, but all of a sudden they're being invited to test in that language and to show their skills, their proficiency. What can they do with the language? Also, we decided at that point, because the grant was also for empowering our teachers in world language to revise curriculum according to the proficiency standards put out by ACTFL, the ACTFL proficiency standards. So our teaching is actually revolutionizing because of this effort. So we began by publicizing this. We worked to coordinate testing in 2 different times of the year. We started bringing forward opportunities for explaining to students how this would work. And in the first year, we had 30 students who achieved the Seal of Biliteracy. About 50 had tested, but about 30, and actually Alejandro Bonillo was in that first group, so it's really great to see him again. Then after having all of this testing go on, we planned an award ceremony, and you all will be invited to our award ceremony this coming May 29th, where we will be honoring 104 Seal of Biliteracy awards. 14 of those will be Seal of Biliteracy with distinction, which is a higher requirement. Then also we will be awarding students who are making their way toward the goal of fluency in English and their first language. So that is called a Biliteracy Achievement Award. And then we will also award students who have participated in our national exams. And this year we are offering awards to our multilingual education students. The award winners will be included. We're really grateful that you can take the time to listen to us, because this program is really designed for Lowell. Our Lowell students want to take advantage of this opportunity because not only do they receive a credential in their language and communication skills, but the sense of pride in their linguistic and cultural heritage is visible. The opportunity to think more forwardly about their future, where they're going to use their communication skills. And really, this is much bigger than just one language and learning the words of that language. It is really empowering people to see connections and see opportunities where they can use these skills powerfully. So it has been a privilege to be able to get to know so many more students than are in my classes, and to present them with an opportunity for testing. Just a brief word about the testing. This test is requiring a lot of time and effort. Can be up to 4 or even 6 hours of testing. It's not timed because we want students to feel they have enough time to write fluidly. They don't get to prepare for the prompts, but they're asked to write about 3 paragraphs times 3 about a fairly complicated prompt. They also are expected to speak extemporaneously on any number of topics for at least a minute, and that's about the intermediate proficiency level that they are reaching for. So I just want to mention briefly before I invite our award winners to speak, because they are going to speak about what it means to them personally, and that is that the program has been growing. In the first year, we had only 30 seals of biliteracy. It jumped to 68, and then we had 70, but this year, about 30% more. We have 104 seals of biliteracy in, I counted again just to make sure, 20 different languages. All told, throughout the 4 years, we have been able to test students in 30 languages. Some languages haven't had a test, so we have been able to work on the basis of a portfolio and arrange opportunities that would help them to show their intermediate high proficiency. So this year, another milestone, we have many more students testing in 2 languages, or even 3. So we have 14 seals of biliteracy with distinction this year. That's meeting the advanced requirement in language and in English. We have 12 students who are receiving the award in 2 languages, different languages. We have 3 students who tested in 3 languages other than English, so they are quadriliteral. So we would like to reward them with our time and attention today, and just I would like to ask for if we could start with Bernardo. I'm pleased to introduce to you a fraction of the students at Lowell High School who are graduating with the Seal of Biliteracy this year.
Well, good evening, Mayor, Superintendent, Assistant Superintendents, committee members, and senior class senator. Good to see you. So I'm Bernardo Cordero. I'm a senior at Lowell High School for 2 more days, right? Almost done. And I was awarded the Seal of Biliteracy with distinction in Portuguese, but also the Seal of Biliteracy in Spanish. So I have 2 awards. And a common frequent question that is really asked is, what do we students that we receive, that we have those skills, what do we intend to use those skills for? So we all know that the workforce, workforce can be kind of like tricky, right? It can be hard to find jobs, and a lot of employers today, they are trying to find people who have special skills. And with the seal of biliteracy, you don't only get soft skills such as communication and confidence, but you also get those technical skills that is speaking a different language. Such as me, I will be able to speak Portuguese and Spanish with fluency and being able to get hopefully better jobs, right? And we as award winners, right? We're gonna use the seal of biliteracy to get jobs and also to make an impact in the world. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening to the committee. Thank you so much. Good evening to the committee and the members. I appreciate you all for hearing us and being here today. My name is Janice Ortiz, other known as Gigi. I am a graduating senior this year, and I have a seal biliteracy in both Spanish and Portuguese. A common question that we have is, how can we encourage our students to study and learn their own heritage language or other languages, especially in high school? So on my note, coming from Puerto Rico, my heritage language is Spanish. So I learned, growing Spanish and English in the great Lowell, in the great city of Lowell. So I learned both and was able to manage to go to school learning both. Around in my 5th grade year, I was surrounded by a lot of other cultures and heritage, where I met a lot of people that came from Brazil and Portuguese-speaking countries, and I was intrigued by the language, and I created such a bond with these students due to them needing that extra help and support as they were non-English speakers. And so me being able to understand them with the little comprehension that I had in Spanish, I had that passion to want to learn Portuguese. And so with the seal biliteracy, with the world language classes in Lowell High School, I managed to achieve that. I managed to not only help and serve my friends, but to teach them and tutor them in classes, teach them and kind of help them through their way in high school. And not only that, help me through my way in high school. Now I'm on my verge of getting my certification in CNA, and so I hope to pursue that and go to UML and study nursing and help others in the healthcare fields with these languages, and just be able to give them all the support they need in the times where they need most help. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Deborah Goncalves. I am also a senior at Lowell High School, and I will be receiving 2 seals of biliteracy in Portuguese with distinction, and then another one in Latin as well. And a topic I really wanted to address is why do all this? As Ms. Bloodtom said, it's a 4 to 6 hour test. So it's not easy and you're being pulled out of other classes, but for me, I wanted to address the why. And as I am getting 2 seals of biliteracy in different languages, for Portuguese, I was raised by Brazilian immigrant parents, so having this seal is a way to kind of not only recognize my efforts in learning the language and keeping it up, but their efforts in connecting me to the culture, even though we're living so far away from where they came from. And for Latin, I studied it for 3 years, 2 years under Ms. Bloodtom, and to have that work and all the studying I put into her class, have that recognized, it really means something and it's an honor. And as well as how Bernardo said, achieving a seal such as this, it's a physical achievement that you can show, whether it's for college or for jobs, to show that you know this, you have this skill, and it can really support you for the rest of your life. Ms. Bloodtom was mentioning that the seal is now going to be on our high school transcripts, so it really is a physical way to show I know this language, and it's a skill I can carry for wherever I go. And now I'm going to be going into UMass Lowell, studying mechanical engineering, and that's something I can take into whatever job I want to do, whether I want to stay here in Lowell, in Massachusetts, or go to another state, another country. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Daniel Heng, and I'm a graduating senior at Lowell High School. and I took the seal of biliteracy in Khmer with distinction. For me, taking the test was, for me personally, allowed me to reconnect with my language and regain some of the skills in the language that I've since lost since I've immigrated here a few years ago. And it allowed me to earn a advanced on the test. Yet at the same time, it also was a great opportunity to earn some college credit and a certification while I'm still in high school, which in the future, as somebody who's going into biochemistry at UMass Lowell or a similar STEM field, means that I'm able to conduct communications in a second language. So yeah, thank you.
Good evening, committee. My name is Diego Munoz. I took the seal by literacy in my sophomore year of high school. As one of the first test takers of the seal by literacy, I felt very proud to have earned this award. I took mine in Spanish, and for a big chunk of my life, I felt insecure about my Spanish-speaking abilities. I always felt less because I didn't come from Chile. I was born here. So being able to take this exam and being awarded with the seal of biliteracy has proved to me and everybody around me that I am proficient in Spanish, that I meet the qualifications of my peers that have came from this country. I exceed the requirements of a lot of my peers in my Spanish classes. I feel very proud to have been able to take this test, and this seal by literacy exam has given me the confidence to be able to speak to others at work, at conferences, with friends. This seal by literacy is very important to me and to many others. Thank you.
Good evening, school committee. My name is Igor Semyonov. I took the seal of biliteracy for Russian a couple of months ago and got advanced score. Overall, this experience helped me feel more confident about my language skills, and it just motivates me to keep improving. That's it. Thank you.
Good evening, the mayor, the Lowell Public School Committee, and Mr. Skinner. My name is Rayuta Yam, and I am a graduating senior at Lowell High School, and I will be receiving the State Seal of Biliteracy Award in the language Khmer. So, the question: what does taking the State Seal Biliteracy in your first language really means to me? So, taking the State Seal Biliteracy in Khmer really means that it just means that it allows me, it acts as like a hard work, dedication, and challenges that I overcame while balancing the two languages and cultures. It also allows me to explore many opportunities, such as learning about other people's culture, traditions, and customs, as well as the career that I'm about to go into, which I will pursue at UMass Boston's. So by just seeing the stamp on yours of the State Seal Biliteracy on your diploma, it just shows how much the journey you came from, and it just makes me really proud of how much I came from. So yeah, so thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Justine Carr, a graduating senior at Lowell High School. I will be receiving the State Seal of Biliteracy in Hindi and English with distinction. So one question that I was asked was, what would I like everyone to know about the State Seal of Biliteracy? For me, from a young age, languages are not just a way to communicate with people, but to understand their culture, their heritage, and out of the most important thing, to understand my friends more better who share a different background. And answering the question is that it's a great way to challenge ourselves. It was a great way to challenge myself and like my language skill and to be recognized for a thing that matters. So yeah, thank you.
Thank all of you for speaking so nicely. I just want to, reiterate some of the themes that we heard is personal identity, claiming one's identity and connection to their parents and their families. We also heard pride in accomplishment, and I am especially proud of all of our graduating seniors, and many people are striving to learn their English as well. So this is an award that shows striving for both first language proficiency and second language proficiency. We also heard about jobs and the future. And I think this is one award at Lowell High School which is really forward-looking. Students begin to see themselves in various positions. In 2017, there was a report from the Academy of Arts and Sciences presented at Congress called America's Languages, with a little bit of consternation that we in America need to work really hard on retaining our languages and showing how we can use them. Mutual understanding and creating opportunities, internationally. This is where we are at right now, and I think that these students are going to go out and be world changers, showing their ability to switch languages and to use their communication skills effectively. This is one measure. There are, many other ways that the programs at Lowell High School are encouraging students to reach further. And this I have seen personally how this just gives students a new sense of identity, or a refreshed sense of their own identity. Personally, it's a pleasure for me to get to know so many Lowell High School students and to hear from them some of their stories and to help them feel like, yes, this is for you. Lowell students are not missing this opportunity to measure their skills in language. I do want to acknowledge the support that we have here. Stephen Gervais has been, part of the team. He is the other half of the team as we are implementing this test. And every year, the number's increasing dramatically. So it takes a lot of funding. It takes a lot of follow through. It takes a lot of recording data. It takes a lot of planning to see this through the entire year. I also know that with new state legislature requirements, the seal of biliteracy now will be announced to all Lowell public school families every year. So that's one of the new requirements. And as was mentioned, the emblem of the seal of biliteracy goes on a transcript. So that's really exciting. Also, we have received a lot of support from the Office of Multilingual Education, and I'm grateful for that. And I see the two, world language and multilingual education, kind of moving together and helping students at every point, at every level. It is not a pass-fail test. Students get rewarding comments at every level that they are at. So I would like to mention that because so many times students, they take a test and it becomes an impersonal experience. But this test really rewards students with messages about what they're already doing in the language and how to get to the next level. So we appreciate that about the test that we use. The Avant company has really expanded to so many hundreds of languages. And so I think today we had 6 languages represented here. But 30 languages that we've tested since the beginning of this. So we appreciate your support and just want to move forward with this every year and invite more students to participate. Thank you very much.
Would you guys like to come forward and take a picture? 4, minutes. Motion to approve the special and regularly scheduled Lowell School Committee meeting minutes of May 6, 2026 and May 11, 2026, and place them on file by Committee Member Bahu, seconded by Committee Member McFadden. Roll call.
Mr. Rossi? Mayor Gitchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway? 7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 5, permission to enter. 5.1, permission to enter May 20th, 2026. Motion to approve the permission to enter by Member Del Rossi, seconded by Member Martin. Any discussion? Mr. Bahu.
Yeah, just one question, Mr. Mayor. This is in respect to transportation. There's a lot of transportation approvals on these pages. And I notice we have, two homeless students on page 2 for going from safe transportation for $11,500, going to Boston Public Schools. I notice D transportation for $12,300 from Woburn going to Waltham Public Schools. And then I noticed something that sort of just stuck out, Nemo transportation on page 3. Looks like we have 2 students going from Lowell to Acton, and it's a $30,000 charge. So I'm just curious, why that charge may be. I understand there may be, special services that may be required. I did take the time and look up the McCarthy Town Elementary School, and it looks like it's, it's a very prominent school in the town of Acton, and I'm just curious, why why the cost seems to be triple the amount for 2 homeless students going to Acton, Massachusetts, when it is so near to us.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. That's a good question. Dr. Pinto, please.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. I'll be happy to share a little bit of insight on those kinds of charges for homeless students, for DCF students, et cetera. So it depends on who bids on the work is one consideration. It depends on the number of students that are being transported. It depends on the amount of mileage. So there are gas charges involved, there are wages involved, there is insurance involved. For small service vehicles like this, small fleet vehicles like this, there is a cost involved for the vendor itself who's providing the service. So these are specialized vans that require special lights, signage, have to be, they have mandatory safety items, lighting associated with it. There may be special seating, there may be a monitor assigned, and so there is also the consideration of a split shift, right? So it's not one trip one way. The driver has to leave wherever their vehicle is housed. They have to go to the student, pick up the student, transport the student to the district, and then they're finished. So they've got to come back to wherever the point of origin is. They then have to go out again at the end of the day. So it's difficult, I think, on the part of small vendors to split shift employees or an employee to agree to work 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. So I think that those are some of the considerations that go into these prices arriving at the level they do.
Sure, and I really appreciate that that answer. But of course, I'm looking at, Nemo Transportation is housing in Chelmsford, and truthfully, Chelmsford touches Acton. So, they're essentially traveling 8, 9, not more than 8 or 9 miles, even if it is a split shift. And split shift, and I understand mileage, and I understand gas, and I understand all of it. So if you could just maybe kindly look up what these 2 homeless students are, if there is special transportation that is necessary for them, I would be grateful, because a lot of the other ones, again, $11,000 for 2 homeless students, $12,000 for 2 homeless students, and I'm sort of picking apples to apples. And I'd just like to know, and if Nemo Transportation is charging this month for, mainstream students, then maybe, we need to, ask them to, reconsider the charges that they're putting on Lowell Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Mr. Conway.
Yeah, thank you. If we take, I have a couple questions in regards to the permission to enter. Through you to the superintendent, where we've got NRT bus, and there's 661. Could you explain this to me? Because I'm a little confused with it, because there's a cost share of transportation for 44 homeless students living in Lowell, going and from Methuen, Lawrence, and Cambridge schools. Number of people have asked me about this, and to be honest with you, I don't think I really gave them a clear answer. Because to me, and this is coming from the school department budget, and if they're are they homeless from Lowell, Mr. Superintendent?
So, Mr. Conway, it's a good question, and the students involved are oftentimes living in Lowell, but they could also be living in one of the towns listed. So it's an either-or. Either they're living in Lowell and need to be transported to one of the other communities to go to school, or they're living among the other communities and need to be transported to Lowell.
Well, if they're living in Lowell, then why aren't they going to school in Lowell?
It's very.
sorry to say-
No, you're being very reasonable. Being very reasonable. It is incredibly frustrating. I agree with your sentiment. It's a law. It's a federal law that students who are homeless are allowed and entitled to go to school. So, for example, if one of these families lived in Cambridge and the child attends Cambridge Public Schools and they become homeless and they're set up in a residence somewhere in Lowell because they're homeless, the child is entitled to go to school in Cambridge by federal law, McKinney-Vento law. And we are obligated to pay for that transportation 50-50 with Cambridge Public Schools. And that's the kind of billing that you're looking at.
I'm not doubting you, but it just defies logic, to be quite frank with you. I'm missing.
I've told.
Let's put it this way: perhaps we're not missing it, but someone's missing it.
I mentioned to the committee before. McKinney-Vento was devised and envisioned during the Reagan administration. Whoever came up with that law had really good intentions in mind. When a family became homeless, and let's say they live in Lowell and they go to Dracut, you got to allow the kid to come from Dracut to Lowell to go to the same school they always used to attend. These families are in difficulty, they're having a stressful time, they're homeless. Let's at least let the kid continue in the same school. That was the intention. And it's a good intention. I don't think the people who made the law, who voted in the law, knew or envisioned that it would become the huge burden that it is today. It is a huge burden.
And it's really not educationally sound either, because
Agreed.
you're talking about
I agree.
moving students at that particular time in the morning to go to Cambridge.
Agreed.
And then to return at a difficult time too. They're on the bus for what, an hour and a half each? Well, anyways, I know that in a lot of these permission to enter, there are similar situations. So they all fall under that category? Is that what it is?
Not necessarily all. The second item, the one below, you talked about NRT bus, I believe is the first item on the last page.
Yeah.
Below that, there's another NRT bus. It's not about homeless students, it's special education students. And that's a different situation where the students are transported to out-of-district services.
Yeah, and I think and I'll stop after this, but when I'm looking at the numbers, this isn't $5,000 or $10,000, but I'm looking at 681. When I added it up roughly, by the time you get done, we're talking $800,000, $900,000. Well, those are jobs that we labored over how many hours, and we lost jobs and positions. And if we had that $800,000 or $900,000, it certainly could make a bit of a difference. So apparently I'm preaching to the choir.
Your comments are very welcome. I couldn't agree more. We haven't taken opportunities to lobby legislators with regard to the cost, and not just this superintendent, but superintendents all over Massachusetts. The ones I'm familiar with are in the Merrimack Valley. It's affecting many districts. It's probably affecting Lowell disproportionately. because we have more homeless students than many other districts surrounding, and it's something that begs for attention, and we'll do what we can to lobby for a more sensible system than the one we have.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Superintendent, if I may, quick comment. So just, in some cases, these are students, just wanted to add to the comments being made. In some cases, these are students that are sheltered and are being moved from place to place. And I did want to add that I had the opportunity at the MASBO conference last week, so our association conference, to speak directly to the commissioner of DESE about this particular situation. So I know it's been flagged. They've assured me that they're advocating for changes.
Thank you.
Mr. Conway, what I'm hearing you say is you want to put in a motion to have the superintendent send it to our state reps and our federal elected officials to push back on this and get your money back to your budget.
I think that was a wonderful motion that I have. Yes.
Not that they go anywhere, but I think it's a good letter that would be drawn up by the superintendent.
Are you going to second that?
I would say that Mr. Bahu would be a second.
All right.
So motion by
Let's
Mr.
put that
Conway
motion in.
All right.
to send a letter to our
That sounds
state and
good.
federal delegation on the transportation issues. I'm sure Mr. Superintendent will do that. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Rossi.
Yes.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Who was the second on
Yes.
that?
Mr. Bahu, yeah.
Mr. Lay.
Yes.
Ms. Martin.
Yes.
Ms. McFadden.
Yes.
Mr. Bahu.
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
7 yeas.
Back to.
May I, Mr. Mayor, may I ask a quick question on that?
Yep.
Thing that we just voted on. So, supposedly, if the students are, say, freshman or sophomore this year, they're homeless. Next year, do they still have a choice to go back to Cambridge for next year as well, until whenever they want, or this is the only year that they could choose that?
It's not just 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Does Connie still want to speak?
Oh, Connie, did you want to speak? Ms. Martin, did you want to speak?
And I'm sorry to drag this out, but I appreciate the time. Thank you. I appreciate the motion, and certainly am willing to support it. But I do think that, we do have a team, our McKinney-Vento team, who work with homeless students, and who I know do great work in terms of helping to case manage and help these children and their families when they're going through, what could probably be one of the most difficult times in their lives. I would say we would have an opportunity, because it is families get to make that choice. They can choose if they want to remain in their sending district, or they can choose to come to Lowell. I think in most cases it's a choice driven by how stable their housing is going to be. If they're placed in a shelter, that's kind of a different dynamic than if they're actually, placed in long-term housing. So that in many cases can determine the decision from families. But I mean, it is an opportunity for our case managers to have those conversations with families about what the opportunities are, for students who are, have the opportunity to choose to stay in Lowell, if they've been placed here. That side of the equation is we'd save money not having to send them back to their original district. And it also works the other way around, so that for, students that are coming from other districts, who may be placed in Lowell, we're paying half that fee as well. So there is, I think, some opportunity. The motion certainly, I think, should move forward, and there may be some nuances to the law that we may want to tackle. But there is, I think, a more immediate real-world solution we could use in encouraging the McKinney-Vento team and working with families to kind of be able to promote the idea of, if you are getting permanently placed, that making the transition to Lowell Public Schools is certainly a positive thing, and just giving parents kind of that common sense real world, introduction to the district so that they know that making this transition can make a real difference for their students. So I think that there's a couple different ways that we can approach this. And I do think that perhaps the most immediate is to just kind of have that conversation with the McKinney-Vento team and encouraging them to be able to share that information with families, because they're the ones really, on the front line working with these families when they're at a most precarious time. And welcoming, those students into our district would be a real positive for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Lay to suspend the rules to take 9.3 retirement plus enrollment out of order. Any questions on this? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay? Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 9.3, retirement plus enrollment. We have some registered speakers.
Joy Flanders?
Good evening again. I'm back. Thank you, Governor, Mayor, and Superintendent and School Committee for having us tonight, a few of us here. I'm here tonight to talk and educate a little bit.
Can we just state our name and address?
Oh, I'm
for the
sorry.
record, please?
Joy Flanders. I'm getting so used to Joy Flanders, Greenelm school teacher, and 33 years at Lowell Public Schools. So
Just your address. Just the address.
my address, 47 Beacon Hill Road, Pelham, New
Thank you.
Hampshire. Thanks. I'm here tonight to speak about Senate Bill S1884 and why this issue matters so deeply to educators like myself. It's a bill that would provide relief to teachers who missed enrollment in Retirement Plus because they were never properly informed about it. Retirement Plus allows educators to contribute an additional 2% towards retirement in exchange for a higher retirement benefit after years of service. For many teachers, this program can make a significant difference in financial stability after dedicating decades to public education. The problem is that many educators were never given clear communications or a fair opportunity to enroll. That was my experience. When Retirement Plus was first introduced, I was out on maternity leave. During that important enrollment period, I received no communication. Keep in mind, there was no email explaining what it was. No letter came through the mail, nothing. Nobody explained how it worked. There was no deadline to enroll by. There was nothing. When I returned to school, there was still no information shared with me by the district or the retirement system. The only thing I heard was teachers casually talking about 11% retirement. So I did what many people would do. I checked my pay stub. I saw that 9% was already being deducted for retirement, and there was another 2% being taken out as well. Naturally, I assumed that meant I was part of the 11% Retirement Plus program. I later discovered that was not the case. I learned that despite contributing what I believed was the correct amount, I had never actually been enrolled in Retirement Plus because I had missed the formal election window while out on maternity leave. As educators, we tell our students every day how important communication is, how important fairness is, and how important it is to ensure everyone has equal access to information. Yet many teachers, particularly women, out on maternity leave or employees on other approved leaves were unintentionally excluded from a program that impacts their long-term financial future. This bill is not asking for special treatment. It is asking for fairness. It is asking for educators who were never properly informed to finally have the opportunity to make the decision they should have been allowed to make years ago. Teachers dedicate their lives to serving students and communities. We should not be penalized because we were caring for a newborn child, or in my case, grieving the loss of one, or on a medical leave, or simply not given accurate information during a critical enrollment period. I urge you to support S1884 and advocate for our educators who unknowingly lost access to an important retirement benefit through no fault of their own. And it's my money that would be going back into the system, no one else's. So please support this bill. Thank you.
Catherine Clow.
Good evening, members of the school committee, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Superintendent, administrative team, members of the Lowell community. You see there are some educators here tonight, and we're here to urge you to submit a resolution to our state legislators in favor of the Retirement Plus bill. This legislation corrects an injustice for some of our longest-serving educators who were unable to join the R Plus program due to a flawed rollout 25 years ago. I am one of those. I realize I didn't state my name and address. So Catherine Clough, 928 Merrimack Ave, Dragut. I have been a Lowell Public School educator since 1988. So while this program is about doing the right thing by teachers who have given decades to our schools, it also creates an opportunity to ease some of the strains on our district budget. As higher salary educators would naturally retire, new educators can be hired at lower salary steps, and we can build our next generation of educators for our district. And it makes me think of the inspiring, knowledgeable coach who was speaking earlier, Mr. Bonilla. As someone who's personally impacted by this issue, I'm respectfully asking the committee to support this resolution. You all received a copy of the resolution. It's in the packet. If you don't mind, I'd like to read it for those folks at home who are listening or anybody who's not aware. Lowell School Committee resolution in support of S1884 teacher retirement election. Whereas the Lowell School Committee is committed to maintaining a high quality, stable, and effective educator workforce for the students of our community. And whereas many experienced educators prior to July 1st, 2001 were not provided a fair or timely opportunity to enroll in Retirement Plus under the Massachusetts Teachers Retirement System. And whereas Senate Bill S1884, an act relative to teacher retirement election, would provide a limited and structured opportunity for eligible educators to opt into Retirement Plus, correcting a long-standing inequity affecting veteran teachers. And whereas enabling eligible senior educators to participate in Retirement Plus may encourage timely and voluntary retirements, creating opportunities for districts to hire new educators at lower salary levels, thereby reducing long-term payroll obligations. And whereas this transition can support thoughtful workforce planning, promote financial sustainability, and preserve educational quality by allowing districts to balance experience with new talent. And whereas the bill does not impose a direct unfunded mandate on school districts and may produce local cost savings over time through natural attrition and salary differentials. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lowell School Committee hereby expresses its support for Senate Bill S1884, an act relative to teacher retirement election for certain members of the Mass Teachers Retirement System, and be it further resolved that the school committee respectfully urges Massachusetts legislature, and specifically the Senate Committee on Ways and Means, to report the bill favorably and advance its passage, and be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be transmitted to the representatives Rodney Elliott, Tara Hong, State Senator Vanna Howard, and Senate Committee on Ways and Means, the American Federation of Teachers, and the Massachusetts Association of School Committees. So that's the resolution we're proposing. We're looking for your support Thank you very much for your time.
Mickey Dumont.
Good evening, Mayor Getchier, Superintendent Skinner, assistants, and esteemed school committee members. My name is Mickey Dumont, 62 Wynwood Road, Lowell, Mass. The UTL is urging your support for Senate Bill 1884, the Retirement Plus Bill, on behalf of educators who, for a variety of reasons, were denied the opportunity to enroll before 2001. While we recognize that any proposal involving retirement benefits raises legitimate cost concerns, S 1884 presents a unique opportunity to address a long-standing inequity while also supporting responsible district financial planning. Many of the educators impacted are among the most experienced and highest compensated members of the workforce. Providing a pathway to retirement for those who are ready would create natural turnover, allowing the district to hire newer educators at significantly lower salary levels and helping ease pressure on operating budgets without compromising educational continuity. In addition, a structured retirement option improves workforce planning as it would allow the district to anticipate transitions, manage hiring timelines, and maintain stability for students and staff rather than responding to sudden vacancies. Just as importantly, S 1884 corrects an inequity that left many dedicated educators without access to a benefit available to their peers. Supporting this legislation is both a sound financial decision and a statement of fairness and respect for our long-serving teachers. We truly appreciate your time and attention to this matter, and we are grateful for your thoughtful consideration of this bill. Thank you.
Member Bahu.
Mr. Superintendent, it seems as if, you know, let's be real, email hasn't been around as much as we think. Email has been around for a long, long time. People were not informed. Our long-standing teachers were not informed 30 years ago, and they've worked through the system, and unfortunately, they have been slighted or oversighted. So is there any way that, you know, we could go ahead and send a letter to our state delegation, Tara Hong, those people that are mentioned on the bottom line, which would be Rodney Elliott, Tara Hong, our two state representatives, State Senator Howard, the Senate of the Committee of the Ways and Means, the American Federation of Teachers, as well as the Mass Association of School Committees, so that these people can go ahead and be compensated properly in their retirement for their 30s and 40 years of service.
I'd be happy to do that. Thank you, Mr. Bahu.
Great. Could we make it a motion so that we could all vote on it?
Motion by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. McFadden to send the letter. She raised her hand. Ms. Martin.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just had a quick question. So with the Retirement Plus, do we have a number of the actual number of teachers that were impacted by that in the district?
Ms. Martin, if that's to me or the administration, we don't have that number.
Okay, it would seem to be something that we should be able to.
Right. Thank you. I was just trying to think about how it obviously we could survey for the number. I'm not sure if we have records of it in payroll or in. But there should be some means, Ms. Martin, of determining the number. I'm offhand not quite sure how much is involved in doing that.
Okay, it's mainly curiosity because it just seems like such a blatant oversight. And with the Retirement Plus, so teachers after the 2011, they were able to enroll. It was just this window of time.
That's correct.
Where they didn't receive information. Oh, that is a travesty. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Ms. Flanders would like to say something?
I did a survey just at my school. I met. So
Really? Okay.
I'm the only one. I
So
am
it's not
the
a
only
huge
one at
number.
the Greenouts.
Okay.
All my peers have R+. All my
Really?
peers are retiring. And
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going.
Thank you. Ms. Dumont?
Thank you for the information. Thank you.
I'd just like to throw in, too, that the Senate is actually discussing this bill today. They may have a decision whether to send it to the floor for a vote either today or tomorrow. One of my colleagues from AFT Massachusetts is currently right now at the school committee in Lynn, presenting a resolution to Lynn School Committee, and I told him that we'd have an answer before he did. So I need your support on that. We don't know exactly, we've tried really hard to get a number of the teachers in Lowell who were impacted, but it's very difficult. And I thought because you got the papers on Friday, someone might have had a chance to kind of, scout that out. But all it is a vote to support it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but all of our state legislators, Rodney Elliott, Vanna Howard, and Tara Hong, have all supported it. They're all on record as co-signers, just in case you needed that information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
She's on.
Okay. Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. While we're under suspension of rules with, go ahead, Ms. Dumont. It's already voted on, but if he wants to talk, he can, certainly. Just come up to the mic, please. You can come right up.
I'm not going to further educate anybody on the bill itself because I think that's been very well done by my colleagues. My story is a little bit more personal. I never got notice. I was moving at the time, so I changed addresses. Like a lot of teachers in their 20s in 2000, I lived in an apartment. My lease was up. I moved. So the letter arrived, but it arrived at the wrong address. I never received it. I got evidence of that from the MTRS. I got evidence that I had changed my address with the city of Lowell from the city of Lowell, and I took both of those items and I sent it to MTRS to prove that I never received notice. They denied me being able to get back in. I then appealed to the Administrative Appeals Board in Boston. I'm a former attorney. I put together a whole brief. I had all my evidence lined up. They gave a blanket denial to any teacher that was trying to get back into the system, saying that even if we did not receive notice, we were responsible for knowing about it, which to me seemed like really flawed legal reasoning. Like I said, my reason's a little bit more personal. My father was a school teacher as well. My father got sick with Alzheimer's at 58. He passed away at 69. I'd like to enjoy my retirement, and as I'm getting older and I'm getting closer to that age, it gets a little bit more, like the clock is ticking. So for me and thousands of my colleagues around the state that were denied the first time around, we just want a fair shot. We just want an opportunity to be able to get into the same system that the 95% of our colleagues are already in. It costs the state nothing. It costs the towns nothing. We would have to pay into the system through our own personal funds. We can take money out of our 403B or other funds that we might have, but we're paying back into the system for the years that we lost. So that's really the crux of the matter here. So I would appreciate all of your support on this, and we're looking forward to moving this thing forward and getting it passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jusam. With that, we're going to go back to the regular portion of the agenda. Motion 6.1, Member Dominic Lay requests an update from the superintendent regarding financial education initiatives in middle schools and encourage consideration of making financial literacy a mandate component of the curriculum. The goal would be for students to leave middle school with a foundational understanding of personal finance, including but not limited to investments, credit, taxes, budgeting, mortgages, interest, and basic financial calculations. Seconded by Member Bahu. Mr. Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on my motion. So, in the past few years, every year that I have had the opportunity to go to middle schools, students have been asking me, teach us some financial education, teach us some more financial education. So many years in a row, now recently I had the opportunity to go to Stockloza and speak to the civics class students, and again they asked me, can you make financial education mandatory? Can you teach us more financial education? So this time I was able to speak to a smaller group of students, and they really was able to tell me specifically what, some like financial education is broad in a way, and I couldn't really know what you want to know. So they say, okay, this is what we want. We want to know something about credit scores. We want to know anything about bank accounts. We want to know anything about investments, taxes, real estate, credits, anything about businesses, budgeting, insurance, inflation, anything about business. So I'm all right. So those are the topics that they throw out. And I was thinking, that is, and I asked them why you think it's important. And they were saying, it is something even better than STEM. And why so? And they say STEM only focus on a few people, whereas financial education, every student would benefit from it. In the affluent community, the students may have their parents walking them through, holding their hands, how to handle financial stuff. And here in our community, it's the opposite. And these students feel that this is something important for them, and they need to learn. So I thought that is something that I promised. That it sounds wonderful, and I do whatever I can to support them. And if middle school students need to learn, I'd like to ask if my colleague would support, and also would the director of curriculum would be able to do something to have it done for the school, for the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. Anyone else? Roll call.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 6.2, Member Dominic Lay requests the superintendent to review the staff dress code policy, particularly for teachers who serve as professionals and role models for hundreds of students, and to consider prohibiting the wearing of T-shirts and shorts during school hours. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Conway. We have a registered speaker. Hold on, Ms. Lay.
Bridget McNulty Davila.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bridget McNulty Davila. I live at 139 Summer Street in Lowell, and I am a Lowell Public Schools teacher of 14 years. Firstly, love the financial literacy idea. Appreciate that. Secondly, what do the numbers 36 and 89 have in common? Those were both temperatures of my classroom during school hours this school year. 36 degrees was December 15th. 89 degrees was yesterday. I'm just going to sit with that for a second. My students had MCAS today. The motion says that teachers are professionals and role models, and I agree with that, and I take that very seriously. I would love to be treated like a master's level professional, especially when it comes to things like taking a personal day attached to a long weekend, or choosing curriculum on the state level, or being trusted to pick my own clothing. I would love for us all to be role models when it comes to things students actually care about, like preserving the arts and their after-school programs, creating opportunities for field trips, maintaining safe buildings with humane climate control, resisting corporate learning software that sells their data, protecting kids and their families from ICE. Teachers are demoralized. Our colleagues are losing their jobs. Our kids are losing services. The state expects us to teach canned curriculum that often makes no sense. Our community is struggling. We're losing students.
Ms. Davila, can we please stick to wearing shirts and shorts and not with the
I'm almost done.
broad statement, as we need to stick to the issue that's at hand?
This is part of the issue.
Well,
Teacher morale is part of the issue.
we understand that, but we're talking
I don't
about
think you do, sir.
shirts. I would say I do. I've been around it my entire life. Just please stick to the issue before you. You certainly can do that for 1 minute and 4 seconds.
I'd love to. I teach 7th grade. I can wait all day.
Thank you.
I was getting to the end. Thanks. The choice to put forward a motion to police our clothing at this moment, when we are facing budget cuts and when our buildings are already unbearably hot and cold, is degrading, nonsensical, and completely disconnected from the actual issues facing our students. I suggest this committee do more student outreach, possibly have a listening session about the issues that our students actually care about. It is our job to serve them and meet their needs. Thank you.
Mr. Lay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on my motion. I held off to this motion until we finish the budget, and unfortunately, our teacher today used the high temperature as a reason for speaking against the motion. I have received a few emails as well, so I want to thank everybody who sent me the email in regarding to this motion. I even have a friend who is a staff, maybe mentioned as a friend to withdraw my motion. I didn't anticipate that this motion would create such a reaction. But really, this motion is, I would say, would probably affect as many teachers as I thought, because I think at one point everybody would have worn good clothes to interview anyway. So it came to me that there was some complaint that there were some teachers, I don't know how many, but I would imagine it would be very few out of thousands of staff that we have here in Lowell. Going back to George Sapsara's days, you couldn't even wear jeans. But over time, we have been relaxed, and I like that. It's nice. But at the same time, I don't know if this is because of post-COVID thing. That's we kind of, maybe a couple people have abuse the relaxation that the relaxed system that we have. That I was told, quote, the T-shirt was either undershirt or crumble T-shirt that out of a forgotten laundry or something. When I heard that, it's worth to talk about something. The dress code. Do we have a dress code? And what is the limit? Can anybody dress any way we want? So this motion, I like to ask superintendent to look into it. I feel bad for students. Teachers, I admire teachers. I respect teachers. I think they're professional. However, if there are one or two who kind of taking advantage of the relaxed system that we have here, and as they teach the class, they walk around every student, every eyes look at them, and I want the students to see who they are looking at as a role model. Dressed like a professional. So that is the intention of my motion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Lay. Ms. Martin?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I can absolutely appreciate Mr. Lay's intention in bringing this motion forward. I would just say that this is truly getting into some granular, micromanaging that I don't feel the school committee really needs to be involved in. I think that to the point of some of the emails I received, as well as speaker tonight, I do think that we really are charged with other higher level concerns that we need to be focused on. I really feel like this is a building-based decision. And I think that when there are those rare cases where perhaps a teacher, that it requires a conversation, that conversation should be between a principal and their teachers. And I really don't think the school committee needs to be involved in it. I can appreciate the situation that many of our teachers are involved in, whether that's your kindergarten teachers who are sitting on the floor all day, or special ed teachers. I received information, I'm sure the rest of the committee did as well, from a number of different teachers in different environments, really talking about, what an imposition this would be. And I think that that's the long and the short of it, that this is not a decision that we as school committee members need to be involved in. It's a building-based decision that's based on the culture and the immediate requirements of teachers in those individual classrooms. So I won't be supporting the motion, but as I say, I appreciate Mr. Lay's intention in bringing it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Ms. McFadden?
I echo Ms. Martin's sentiments. It was not lost on me that Ms. Flanders was wearing a T-shirt when she got up to speak, and what she was wearing is something that a lot of teachers wear. A lot of the schools have fundraisers with their school logos on their T-shirts and sweatshirts, and it's a way to show school pride. There's theme days throughout the year. They'll have words of encouragement on their T-shirts during MCAS, autism acceptance T-shirts. So it's really part of a culture that I think the kids actually really appreciate, and it makes them want to come to school when they can connect with their teachers in that way. I think that we have much bigger fish to fry, and we don't want to penalize the people that are frying the fish. So I think that this is just not in our jurisdiction, and I will not be supporting this motion.
Thank you, Ms. McFadden. Mr. Conway? Mr. Conway?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think the first part of that, and I appreciate everyone's comments here, and the first part of the motion requesting the superintendent to review the staff dress code policy. I don't necessarily take offense to it on that because I realize that one has to be careful with this situation. However, I think that we also have to be consistent in whatever we're doing. And I think if you take a look at, well, I've been involved with the education for many years, over 40 years as a teacher, housemaster, assistant principal, principal. I've seen it all. And there certainly are things that are not, should we say, not appropriate. And I think that as far as I'm concerned, I would support the motion to have the superintendent review the staff dress code policy and come back with his findings. And I don't think, as far as prohibiting the wearing of the T-shirts, I don't think that's what we need to get into, but I think it would be, I don't see anything wrong with getting a report to talk about the dress code, because let's face it, every year, I mean, we're in education. How many times at the end of the year we're all sitting down saying, okay, are there any changes that have to be made? You know, what do we do here? Is there a problem here? Do we firm up something on this area, or do we lighten it on another area? And I think it's just a matter of discussing the situation and see where we go with it. So I'd support it if superintendent would just review, you know, perhaps sit and talk to the principals and say, look, is this a problem, or what's going on with it? That's just my suggestion.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Mr. Bahu?
Well, I think my only question here is, realistically, as the motion is written, I can't support it. However, if Mr. Conway would like to amend the motion, and if Mr. Lay would be amenable to that, then I could, you know, I could move forward with, you know, reviewing the staff dress code policy. So I will leave that up to you, Mr. Conway, as well as up to Mr. Lay.
Well,
but
that's up to Mr. Lay if he's have a friendly.
I'm not against it, so that'll be okay.
So what's the amendment, Mr. Bahu?
Mr. Conway, you want to amend your motion, my motion?
He just wants to.
Just take out the prohibit of the clause that say prohibiting the wearing T-shirts and shorts. That would be fine. So I just want to say thank you, Mr. Conway, for.
Mr. Bahu, you all set? Mr. Bahu?
yes, it sounds like the motion is amended to read, request the superintendent to review the staff dress code policy. And if we're voting on that, I'm perfectly fine. It's been seconded, is that correct?
Yeah, it's Mr. Conway and seconded by Mr. Lay.
Okay.
Yep. I just would like to make a few comments. I think the speaker is correct on saying that you walk into a school and it's 89 on one day and 35 on another day. And I've been in 8 schools in the last 4 months, and I can tell you every one of those places are run very professional. They're all dressed good. There's no pushback, and I don't know why, unless somebody, no one ever reached out to me about somebody not dressing appropriately. So why are we diving into an area where we have ed reform, a principal runs a school, we have contracts that guide what you can wear and what you can't wear, and the principal's in charge of the school. So I don't want to waste the superintendent's time looking into issues when it's pretty straightforward stuff. I've been to the schools, and I can say that the city of Lowell has an absolutely amazing staff that has worked hard, whether it's the Cardinal O'Connell, the Daly School, the Washington School, the Wang School. I have went to all of them. And I haven't seen anything that's been out of the normal from the high school that I work at. They dress all the same way. It's not, you know, it's not something that you have to wear a shirt and tie here. If we put a dress code in here, you'd have to have a tie on, Mr. Bahu. You know, it's just something that we look at and say, They present themselves, and sometimes the culture can be overwhelming to a student too, the way teachers dress. I think sometimes you look at someone, you want someone that's kind of familiar with the way you dress. You want someone who can just engage you. I can't support either motion, so I won't support either one. Thank you.
Mr. Rossi,
No.
Mayor Getchia,
No.
Mr. Lay,
Yes.
Miss Martin,
No.
Miss McFadden,
No.
Mr. Bahu,
Yes.
Mr. Conway.
Yes.
3 yeas, 4 nay, motion fails.
7, report of the superintendent. 7.1, strategic plan initiatives, supportive and efficiency systems. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. School committee members, I think you're aware that we are sharing with you in each meeting one or other of our strategic initiatives and the work that we've been doing towards that initiative. Today, we have in your packet an item from a strategic priority 4, supportive and efficient systems. It was presented or prepared by Ms. Brown-Legrand, who's here with me, and you have the information in your packet. We'll be happy to take any questions if you have them.
Any questions by the board members? Seeing none. Oh, Mr. Bahu.
Question, thank you. Anything that's marked completed under my name, I'm perfectly fine with. You're welcome to just go ahead. Oh,
That's the next item, Mr. Bahu. We're on, yeah, 7.1. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. 7.2, report on motions. Mr. Bahu. Press our microphone on, please.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, while we're the report on motions is in your packet. It's our way of sharing back with the committee the motions that we believe are completed and/or motions that we're still working on, for the most part, with an expected date that you'll hear back. So it's your opportunity, if you wish, to tell us that there's something we determined that's completed that you'd prefer we not code it that way and keep it on there as an active motion. Thank you.
Mr. Conway.
Yeah, just 2 quick questions through you to the superintendent. The one on safety protocol update, where has it completed? And I think it was going to go to a subcommittee, if I recall. Did that go to a subcommittee yet? Or, I mean, I know I'm not on the subcommittee, but.
So,
that's,
Mr. Conway, there was a motion, I believe, that was to go to the to a safety subcommittee.
Correct.
Long
I don't think we had
long
it.
before this one, I believe. So that was an older one. I know that this one was reported in March. We can review the record. I do recall what you say, that there was a motion that was to go to a subcommittee. Yes.
I thought there was something that was going to be discussed. I think Ms. Martin was.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah. So maybe we could hold off on that until we can just get a clarification. And the other one is the second page, the anti-bullying. Now that's completed. Through you, Mr. Superintendent, in regards to the anti-bullying, what I'm thinking right now is September, where we have a number of different parents coming in now that let's say are going from the elementary to the middle school and the middle school to the high school and so forth, and new people to the system. It would be nice if we could get updates on the bullying initiatives, and if there were issues and problems, where do they go, what are the contact people, and so forth. So how as far as that's concerned, should that be like an ongoing thing with the bullying?
That's
or should I just bring up a motion when it's the end of August or something, to say, what about having information present for parents and so forth, because they're going into again perhaps new levels. They don't know.
Sure.
I mean, let's face it, and there's always changes with the bullying, especially cyberbullying. So I think it might be a good idea to keep that ongoing.
So I think I understand your intention. You, at the minimum, you want to make sure that we are communicating with parents and having them understand the anti-bullying policies and so forth at the start of the next school year.
Right.
So,
and also to give them an update on because in that course of the year, since this has taken place, you know that there are obviously changes that happen, and so that the teachers and parents would be updated on any type of changes or additions and so forth that can help out in the bullying situation, you know?
well, we'll be sure to do that. It occurs to me that some of that does occur. Your timing is right, that we update our student handbooks, for example, during the summer. Right. There will be updates this summer related to bullying and perhaps AI and so on. And so that will be occurring, and we'd be happy to update you at that time.
Yeah, because I know that, and I'm sure you did it too with your school, but, you know, when we would meet with our students, especially the new, like let's say at the high school, the freshmen, we would have police there, we'd have social workers, we'd have guidance counselors, and we would give, you know, and it would be a standard message between the houses to let the kids know if there's a problem with any type of bullying, this is what you should be doing. And, you know, because we're going to have a lot of new kids coming in to the high school, for example, you know, so that's, I think it'd be a good idea on that.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Conway. Mr. Bahu.
Yes, this should be quick. Thank you for all of the motion responses. I appreciate them all. They're all have progressed well, and I appreciate them as stated. I just have one item, which is M176, which is on page 5. It is in reference to the homeschooling. We did have discussion about when students could, or parents could go ahead and request students to stop, to become homeschooled. And as a matter of fact, just last meeting, we were approving students to be homeschooled, and realistically, it was May 4th or something like that. And it seems like it's a little late. We discussed creating a policy for it. So rather than going ahead and approving that one thing, I'd like to make it ongoing until we do establish a policy so that we can sort of, maybe begin to earmark dates on when students could ask parents could ask for their students to be homeschooled.
Understood, Mr. Bahu. Thank you.
And that was item M176 on page 5.
I have that. Thank you. If I may say so, this is very productive, and it's exactly how we wish this committee to clarify for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Any other questions? Ms. Martin, do you have any?
Nope, thank you.
Thank you. 7.3, response to motion by Mr. Bahu, 4/1/2026, regarding recruiting efforts for students attending Lowell Public Schools. Mr. Bahu?
Econ Motions, thank you for this report. It's very detailed. I appreciate it. I love all the efforts that we're giving, to try to recruit students and let them sort of all realize what Lowell Public Schools have to offer. I mean, we saw the Knowledge Bowl today and the excitement that was behind that. We saw the dual languages that students were sort of qualifying for, went from 30 students 4 years ago to 104 students this year. I mean, there is so much good news coming out of Lowell, so the recruitment efforts are great. I love the Facebook page and so on and so forth. Let me ask, and it looks like we're trying to maybe move forward with some Instagram in years to come or next year. Could we possibly, begin to sort of open up a TikTok page or add or do it on WhatsApp? And I say that because older people sort of are going on those pages, and they are more universal, and I think that would be a sort of a benefit for our school recruiting process. So if we could maybe consider that. And secondly, as far as these festivals go, we got a Hispanic Latinx festival, an African festival, a water festival, the Eid al-Fitr. Are we setting up a table at these locations?
Excuse me, I'm going to turn that to Ms. LeGrand.
Sure, that'd be great.
Yeah, some of them, there have been tables. So the Folk Festival, we handed out hundreds of backpacks with Lowell Public School information and school materials. Some are just events that some of our staff are attending as well. But when given the opportunity, that's really it's been our focus to try to, promote Lowell Public Schools and have, if appropriate, a table, booth or tent, depending on the kind of event that we have.
Sure. And I ask about, those particular items and not the Folk Festival, because the Folk Festival, people come in from all over New England.
Yep.
And I ask about the African Festival, because we do have a lot of Africans that live in the city. I ask about the Latinx Festival. Ultimately, we have 40% of our students that are Hispanic speaking.
Yep.
And I ask about the Muslim Festival, because these are festivals that are more localized. So if we could maybe begin to have a table there and sort of begin to send out literature. Lastly, I love the idea that attending the houses of worship. I think that would be a huge benefit for our school enrollment opportunities for many students that could see so many great benefits that come out of Lowell Public Schools. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Anyone else? Seeing no one, we'll move on to 7.4, Career Academy Innovation Plan. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll be brief with this one. There is the Innovation School needs to receive your approval to apply for a renewal of their charter, so to speak, every 5 years. There's a packet, a document in your packet that outlines their plan for the next 5 years. And I'll just say briefly, if I may, that it is a really, really worthy school. And if for no other reason, there are many, many reasons, by the way, but if for no other reason, students who attend the Career Academy have had difficulties in our other settings. And they go to the Career Academy and they graduate from there. And in other words, that they're successful. And so we need a Career Academy school, an innovation school for them, for the student population that they serve. And I'd urge you to please support this new plan so that we can ask the Department of Education to renew their charter for the next 5 years.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Any questions? We will move on now to 7.5, 80-day school renovation and construction update.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am very grateful that John Haley from Watermark is not only here, but he's been awfully patient. He's been here since the start of the meeting tonight, and he is here at the request of the school committee to give us an update on progress at the new 80-day school.
Yeah.
Mr. Haley, thank you for your presence, and we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Yeah, I can. What do I got to do? Just, okay. All right, good. Yep. Thank you. All righty. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Haley with Watermark. We're the owner's project manager for the renovation of the former Gina Dock School, which will become the new 80-day school. Icon Architects, who was recently hired to be the designer, they're having their first site visit this upcoming Friday. We'll go through the slides and then we can answer any questions you may have. We are providing a 3-week look ahead each week to the school department to allow them to know what's going on with the project. Last week, there wasn't a lot of activity other than they started preparing for asbestos removal, which is primarily all the floor tiles within the entire school. This week, they continued preparation to begin that asbestos removal. They're supposed to start the actual removal tomorrow. We've recently, this week, installed the porta-johns. And as I said, the design team is coming out on Friday to do their existing building conditions survey, which will allow them to start the design. We've done a lot of enabling activities prior to this, such as you'll see on some of the photos. We've removed ceiling tiles and other things so the designers are able to look at things, and we don't have too many unseen conditions. Next week, in addition to the asbestos removal, we'll be doing some geotechnical test pitting for the new elevator that's going to be installed, and the asbestos removal will be continuing. And then we have the 4-month look ahead, broken by exterior, interior. The biggest items for the summertime will be installing some new water and fire services for the building. The existing ones, there is no fire protection in this current school, so we'll be adding a whole new sprinkler system. In addition, we're adding a new bus drop-off driveway to allow the students to be dropped off within the facility and not on one of the side streets. And then hopefully, not hopefully, in September, we'll be starting the excavations for the elevator construction. So we're going to have 2 primary phases. We're having these enabling activities like the elevator and everything before the actual design is fully done. So we'll have 2 contractors, or maybe the same contractor, to do the enabling activities and then do the actual full construction. This is the current school. The red outline is where we're putting the current construction fencing, which will be going in place sometime next week. We're just waiting. The city's going to be installing some Jersey barriers along Drakeett Street to allow us to have our location to park dumpsters and Connexes in within an enclosed fenced-in area to protect it, not just from the public, but the children that are currently going to school at the former convent building. These are just some photos of the existing conditions. This is the lower level boiler room. The entire school is going to be electrified, so all of this equipment is going to be removed and replaced. This is the former library, which has been completely emptied between the public schools. We donated all the old library books there to Project Learn, and they have them for their book nooks. And we've removed all the remaining excess furniture, and that's in the ceiling, and that's currently just awaiting the asbestos removal of the floor tile. These are just typical classrooms. They're all very good size, but again, we're removing all the asbestos floor tile to start the project. These are the hallways. On the left-hand side, you can see where the existing ceiling was. We've removed the ceiling so that we could see what was above there, and there's quite a bit of space to allow us to put the new HVAC and the mechanical systems above that ceiling, and then the ceiling will be replaced. Same thing with the second floor hallway. That entire ceiling's been removed so you can see what's above there, which will help the designers. This is the location of the new elevator, which is in the lower parking lot. It'll line up with the double doors and the 2 glass block window openings where the hallways are. So it'll be a 3-stop elevator. And the existing transformers that provide the power to the school are very old. They're original to the building. So we've already gone through with National Grid, and they've done the design to install a brand new transformer outside of the building. So we'll be placing a new pad outside the building to allow National Grid to install the new transformer. They'll also remove these current transformers because they contain PCBs. And I know right now we're just waiting for National Grid to get approval for some new poles that they need to put on the street to allow them to bring this new service to the building. Oops, sorry. Currently, the budget or the funding for the school, there's currently $9 million, $4 million from the City of Lowell School, which is capital funds that the City Council approved, and then there's $5 million from a Mass CEC grant that was awarded, which is primarily for the mechanical and electrical upgrades. There are some other funding sources, the sidewalks and the ramp to get into the building. We're going to use city ADA fundings. A new bus driveway and any of the roadway work would be covered in the city streets account. The Lowell School Department is responsible for providing the new furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So I'm not sure where those funds are coming from, but I know they did save a lot of the old desk from the current school there, and they're in Connex boxes outside of the school right now. The condition of those we'll see once they bring them out, once the construction's done. But there'll definitely be new furniture and fixtures that's required on top of the equipment that's in those Connex boxes, which is primarily just student desk and teacher desk. And then we're also working with DPD to find some grants to get new playground equipment also. So we're working on that with DPD. Some other potential funding sources for the future will be, there are some utility incentives in addition to the grant that we got that would be come through the contractors that are installing the new equipment. There may be some other capital balances that they'll be able to use from some of the other building projects that have underrun, and then a solar power purchase agreement in the future. The roof is pretty new, but we're not touching that other than some small new penetrations, but that's potentially would be able to be funded through a future MSBA type project. And that's all I have. I kind of rambled on there, but any questions you have, I can kind of let you know where those things are.
Member Bahu?
Sure. You covered a lot of ground there. This is exciting news. We invested, who knows, about $2.5 million about 3 years ago. And the city let us know that we were going to be sort of moving forward with this. It's great to see that they've offered $4 million in capital funds to go ahead and start doing these improvements. We're very excited about that. We're very excited about the school being open. With that being the case, the question is, do you have a timeline on, the elevator being in, the school being ADA compliant, being completed, and possibly even moving in?
The intent is to have the school open and available for September 2027. So
For September of 27?
Yep.
That's great news. And has the elevator shaft been ordered? Has the elevator been
No,
ordered
not yet.
It hasn't. So
Nope.
there's generally no delays on things like that?
Well, we're scheduling that for September, so that's the focus. The design team's gonna put that together first thing. It'll primarily be the elevator shell and then the elevator itself. All the other work, the electrical and everything that ties into it will come afterwards, but ordering the elevator and completing the shell or the shaft will happen starting in September.
Terrific. And the hopeful date is to be in it in less than 13 months or 16 months.
Yep.
That's great news. Parking, do we have any issues with the parking that, is going to be out there for our
Yes,
staff?
parking is a problem. Will be a problem there during construction, but even after construction, depending on how many people are there. There isn't a lot of parking. There is street parking. There also, the city council just approved to allow Drake Street to go in the opposite direction. So by adding this bus driveway, we may be able to pick up some more parking on the Drake Street side in the front of the current school.
Okay.
So parking is an issue. It will be an issue.
Okay, so are they looking to make Drake Street a one-way street?
Yes.
Okay, so parking's going to be an issue, so we're going to have to sort of give that some consideration. And then, yes, it sounds like we're going to have a brand-new school there, which is really exciting, because I got to walk through that building years ago, and it is in pristine condition for a building that was built in roughly the 40s. Furniture and fixtures and the equipment, will we be, adding any of our own furniture for the school? Because it's a very large building, and it's going to be used as a day school, and it seems like you may need extra furnishings to satisfy the student population.
we're confident that we can provide for the furniture that's needed, Ms. Bahu, and the equipment as well. And equipment would be perhaps technology, clear touch boards and so forth. But we're confident that we have the funds in our current budget for FY27 to provide for that need.
Okay, great. I have no more questions. Thank you, Mr. Haley. We appreciate, you coming in and sort of talking about this with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bahu. Any other? Belay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I share the excitement about opening this school next year, I suppose. And I know you mentioned about we having the roof is fairly new, but I remember a few years ago, we applied for grants with MSBA and school building, SBA, School Building Authority. And we were able to find grants that for like a new boiler. So I don't know if we would qualify for this kind of remodeling. But anyway, just want to throw that 2 cents in.
I know a little bit about that. So we did all the schools for the 2022 projects. Those are all allocated when the city gets the grant, so you have to apply for those. Typically, they won't do the roof until it's over 25 years old. It's a requirement that it has to be at least 25 years old. The new round that the city just received are all already allocated to specific schools, although those funds haven't been given to the city yet to start those projects. I don't know the list off the top of my head, but they're still waiting for the OPM and the designer to be assigned from the MSBA for those schools.
All set, Mr. Lay? Any other questions? I guess I have just one to Mr. St. Cyr about the roof, if it's okay with you, Mr. Haley.
Good evening, everyone.
Mr. St. Cyr, thank you for coming out. I agree with Mr. Haley, the roof's fairly new. The question would be, can we do a thermal imaging of that roof with a drone to just make sure before we put all this money inside and then we go, uh-oh, here we are. The thermal imaging works extremely well by a drone, and if we could pick up something early on, I think, well, he's there and his company's there and we got construction people on site, we might be able to fix some of those issues for short money.
I couldn't agree with you more. Actually, we have a vendor who's going to be out in a couple of weeks to do that.
Yeah,
So,
I just would
it's
think
a great
that's
idea.
important, yeah.
No two ways about it. And I guess to just jump on to John's comments, as far as the questions about the roof, there are also some new MSBA programs that, depending on the size of the solar array that can go on there, they will bring down the aging of the roof and they would get involved, but that would still be going through the MSBA ARP program. And I guess going back to Mr. Lay's question, the MSBA has gotten away from fossil fuel replacements on boiler systems, which is what John was involved with, the 22 version. In this case, what's going in here, and it's going to be our first foray into a fully electrified building. And thanks to Catherine Moses and the Sustainability Group, we were able to get this $5 million grant, which will go a long way with even upgrading the electrical that's in the building and the equipment that's going to go there. So it'll be a very interesting project to get through.
We want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and sharing this project. I think it's an extremely important project for us, and your hard work is definitely showing through. I like that you took some time on that elevator shaft and are going to use the glass blocks as the way to go into that building. It makes too much sense for the city of Lowell, and it works. So,
And our intent is to make this the best school in the state for these types of children. So, I mean, there's a little bit more skin in my game for this.
Are we on budget,
Is,
Mr. Haley? Are we on budget?
What?
Are we on budget?
Yeah, we'll be on budget.
See how I smile when we say that? Thank you again.
Why don't you
And
give me a little more money?
there you go. We all like money. Thank you, Mr. Haley, and thank you, Mr. St. Cyr, for coming out tonight. With that, we're going to withdraw 7.6, and I need a motion to accept the reports of the superintendent 7.1 through 7.5 as a report of progress by Member McFadden, seconded by Member Conway. Roll call.
Mr. Rossi? Mr. Rossi? Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Sorry, yes.
There you go.
7 present, 7 yeas.
8, new business. 8.1, approval and accept and expend allocated FY '26 awards. Motion to approve the April 26 budget hearing dates.
Oh,
By,
That's my fault. No, it's,
I'm sorry, motion to approve and accept
yeah.
and expend the allocated FY 2026 awards by Mr. Bahu, seconded by Ms. McFadden. Any questions on them? Roll call.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 8.2, vote of interdistrict school choice. Motion to reject participating in the interdistrict school choice program by Mr. Conway, seconded by Ms. Martin. Any questions on this? Roll call.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
9, communications, if we could suspend the rules and take a vote to cancel the June 3rd meeting due to graduations of 2 separate things by Ms. McFadden, seconded by Mr. Conway. Any questions on this? Roll call.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Communications 9.1, Lowell High School graduation school year 2026 information. So we're all set. Okay, thank you. Those are completed now. 10 is adjournment, so Ms. McFadden?
Do we still
Oh,
have to accept that communication too? No?
no, we
Okay.
already did. Ms. McFadden, motion to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Lay. Roll call.
Ms. Del Rossi?
Yes.
Mayor Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Lay?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. McFadden?
Yes.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
7 yeas.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Look at that.